back here in Mexico later this year. And well,
Yes.
I think the huge connection between Mexico and Epica is already more than obvious. Your success here is undeniable and continues to grow. Now you're going to play in the largest auditorium in the country, the National Auditorium Auditor Nacional. When you first came here 20 years ago, did you imagine Epica will have such an impact on this country?
No, you don't dare to dream about a success that lasts so long and only increases in a way. I think those 20 years flew by so fast, and I can still remember very well the first time I went to Mexico and how nice the fans were, and the family we were staying with helped take care of me when I got sick the very first time in Mexico. But yeah, we've been there over 10, 15 times, maybe even more. So Mexico feels a little bit like a second home in a way.
That's awesome. You will bring the Symphonic Synergy, and this is not your first approach to the classical music, of course. More than a decade ago, you made the classical conspiracy, then you made retrospect. But what's the difference this time?
Well, more years have passed because retrospect was our 10-year anniversary, and the classical conspiracy was even before that. So this will be the newest version of Epica with a bigger discography. And also for us, we have done it in Holland, in Hungary, but this is the first time we take it to Latin America as well. And it's a huge project. Once more, if you compare it to classical conspiracy and also retrospect, it is probably even bigger, because this time, besides choir and orchestra, we also want to do a big live show. So our ambitions get bigger with each project that we do. So we want to make it an unforgettable experience, create a very special set list to make this an unforgettable evening.
Some weeks ago, I was talking with Christopher Johnson from Therion, and he told me that doing a concert with an orchestra was a kind of nightmare for him because it's very complicated the way the orchestras interpret music, and that's why he avoided to doing something like that for a lot of years. But it seems you enjoy it much more than him. What's your experience now and in the past, and how you managed to adapt the Epica music to a symphonic orchestra?
Well, yeah, we are used to play with the orchestra that's basically running along on a backing track, and everything is very tightly tacked. We have a click track, so we play along to the click track. Many bands, well, nowadays a lot of them do, but some don't have a click track. They just play along with the drums. So that means they can improvise, they can fix little mistakes if something goes wrong. But with our music, everything is thought through beginning to the end, and we have to stick to it. So no room for a lot of improvisation, at least when it comes to changing the length or the rhythm of the song. And this is something not a lot of people in orchestra are used to either. So that's a little bit a challenge, but we have managed to do that. Miking an orchestra together with a metal band playing is tricky. And I feel a little bit sorry for the sound engineer, because I feel it's a big job to do that. And you're standing on stage together with a drum kit, and that is so loud, and that's gonna basically, we say, bleed on the microphones from the people in the orchestra. So it is definitely more challenging to do it live, for everybody to have a good sound for themselves, for our sound engineer to make everything sound good in the audience, for the audience. So it's yeah, gonna be interesting.
For this time for Mexico City, are you working with a Mexican orchestra, or you will your entire orchestra from the Netherlands to Mexico?
No, we are planning to work with the choir and orchestra from Mexico.
And you have plans to record the shows in Mexico or maybe Amsterdam? You know, you should do it here.
Yeah, we are at the moment working on the shows, checking out the budget and seeing what is possible. But that's still something we are working on. So no news on that yet.
Cool. Well, the Alchemy Project EP was a quite interesting project you released some few months ago, having Epica collaborating with big names in the industry. Have you thought about making a second part of this? Who would you like to collaborate with? I know you're a big fan of bands like Rammstein.
Yeah, I think it was like the Alchemy project was in a way a experiment for us and an idea that we got during the pandemic to do a project like this, to work with our friends and colleagues in the metal scene, because everybody couldn't tour and had time to go to the studio or work on other projects. And I loved doing that. I loved working with other artists and see, you know, how they create their art and how it all came together. And that was a great source of inspiration for us, a little bit like a palate cleanser after the writing recording of Omega, to then do such a out of the box experiment to, you know, become inspired and try out different things and just get new fresh ideas for now album number 9. And we loved the project. It was a huge success. So if we have at the moment we have quite a lot of songs for the new Epica album, and I don't know if we can even record all of them, but we definitely have a lot of material. And maybe again in between, you know, after we've released album number 9, we could do Alchemy Project Part 2. We definitely feel inspired and want to work with many more artists in the scene. Rammstein, of course, like you mentioned, would be an absolute dream come true, even though I think that's probably never going to happen, but never say never and always keep on dreaming, I guess.
Well, that was my next question about your new album, because Omega is already 3 years old now. But
Yeah.
do you have something in the making for this 9th album, as you say? But do you think about tentative release date?
The album number 9, we are working now. We recently had another writing camp where the whole band got together to write demos or finish the demos for the songs, come up with vocal lines and some working lyrics. And now I think we have already a whole schedule of the whole recording in the studio, and the album should be done by the end of summer and released in 2025. So yeah, then we are going to have our 9th studio album. But I love the songs so far that we've written. There's more than fit on the album, so it's gonna be cool. And we won't tour that much this year, so we are focusing on the Epica album and the Symphonic Synergy shows, which is a lot of work.
Awesome. And for this new album, Epica's music has always touched topics with a strong philosophical basis, you know, taking ideas from people like, I don't know, Pierre de Cardin about life, death, reality that surrounds us. What topic would you like to explore in these new releases?
Well, there's a lot going on in the world, in our own personal lives. The inspiration source is never ending. And sometimes you feel even inspired by the music itself, you know, when you come up then with an amazing vocal line and you try to come up with a lyric that fits beautiful to the melody. Sometimes unconsciously things come up, and sometimes funny lyrics come up, which we have to change in the end. But Mark already told the band about some ideas that he has, some kind of concept or a red line going that would be great to go through basically all the songs. but we are planning end of March to do another little writing session, vocal line writing session, and then we will make a selection of the songs that we are actually going to record. And we will also, or basically, I think yesterday we had a long band meeting. Mark and I are going to also have a call to see who is going to write lyrics for which song, and then we can start with that already now these upcoming weeks. And like always, Epica writes indeed about topics, spiritual, scientific, philosophical, and that will always be a little bit our the red line, the red thread going through all the lyrics. And yeah, I love the part of writing lyrics and coming up with cool sentences, cool rhymes, beautiful metaphors. So yeah, that's always a cool part of the process.
Awesome. I follow you on social media, and we can see that you have another types of hobbies besides music, you know, makeup, hairstyle, photography. Have you ever thought maybe focus more on one of these if you ever leave music, or you want to make something different?
Yeah, I love photography, and hair and makeup is in a way connected to the band. You know, I have to get ready for the shows, photo shoots, video shoots, and I love to do that. So I've been more active the last years with blogging and stuff, but I don't have the time to do everything. I would love to do more photography, but at the moment, Epica is busy again. And I would love to. I have a Patreon website as well, where I am in closer contact with community fans and friends. So that also takes up some of my time. So there's just no more time to do Instagram, all of that. It's a lot, but yeah, I still enjoy it. But at the moment, my focus lies with music. So
Talking about Mexico, I talked with Mark a couple of years ago and told me a funny story that happened to him on the border between Mexico and the United States with the border patrol. And and I think now's your turn. What has been the most curious anecdote that happened to you during your visits to Mexico?
oh well, my very first experience with Mexico, unfortunately, I got very sick, so I had to have surgery in Mexico. And that was unfortunately very unlucky and just bad luck, and something that can happen all around the world. But there I got to know the warmth and love and hospitality of the family that helped us organize the first tour together with our opening band, our support band. They were two brothers, and their parents financed the whole tour. And their mother took amazing care of me when I got sick. And I just thought this is a very, heartwarming feeling that you are on the other side of the world. And of course, you're very scared because you get sick and then you have to have surgery, and it's in a foreign country. You're there for the first time. And I didn't know what to expect, but I was taken care of so well and so lovingly that every time we go back to Mexico, we try to meet up with the family that helped us in the early days. We don't forget them, and we also invited them now for the Symphonic Synergy in Mexico to come over and see us. And it's always really nice to see her. She's a very small Mexican woman. And she doesn't speak a lot of English, but she always is very happy to see the band, and she always has tears in her eyes, and it's very sweet. So yeah, we basically have a family in Mexico, and we always try to meet them. Besides that, I'm a huge fan of Mexican food. I love anything spicy. And yeah, other than that, we always get a lot of gifts. Plus, I collect the sugar skulls. So I have I have a little
Yeah,
closet with many sugar skulls because I love the Mexican culture as well.
you didn't have problems with ants with these sugar skulls?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you have problems with ants that want to eat that sugar skulls in your in your closet?
No, no, it's the porcelain ones. It's not like
Okay.
you know, the porcelain skulls, you know, with the
Yeah,
painting, the
yeah,
colorful painting on it. So yeah, no ants in the house.
yeah. Well, did you already learned a bit of Spanish after so many times here in Latin America?
I can understand Spanish pretty well, but how do you say? Yo comprendo español. Uh, uh, how do you say? Habla poquito español. Habla. So I understand a lot. But yeah, I speak English, Dutch, and German, and that's already a lot in my head. So I've been there, and I can understand also Italian and French. So, but speaking the language itself, no, not so much. Sorry.
Well, Simone, thank you so much for your time. I really hope to see you here again in December for the Symphonic Synergy with Epica in National Auditorium. And have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Hasta la próxima. Epica, Mexican Epica fans. This is Simone from Epica, and Epica loves you, and we're very happy to come back in December to play the Symphonic Synergy shows at Auditorio Nacional. See you very soon. Love you and take care.